for this special Saturday session of group meditation. And because Saturday is special for us, because on that day, we invite a person who is closely associated with Swamiji's principles and to share these experiences. And today, we have with us Arup Shelby Devi Selvarajan from Toronto, Canada. She has been long associated with Vethathiri Maharishi's principles. I mean, even as a childhood, she was exposed to it. But she herself is honest enough saying that she has not been practicing it quite often, quite regularly. But recently, something has happened, I think, in her life, which made her think of all that she has lost. And then she has come back. Now she is doing it with a big bang. Okay. Though Canada may be in hibernation in these winter days, but she has come out of her hibernation and she is now ready to give a talk as well. And the topic is very interesting, the art of being in an awakened state. Now, after all, we are all awake from the morning. Maybe IT guys will get up a bit later in India because you're tuned to USA and Canada. So we are awake for about 16, 17 hours. But then what does it mean by awakened state? And what is a wakeful state or waking state, which we are used to? So let me also listen to it and be awake. Okay, you'll be missing otherwise. I request on behalf of all of you, Devi Madam, to take over and start giving a lecture. Thank you, Madam.
All government and be blessed by the divine. Thank you, Ayya, for your kind words and for the introduction. I'm truly honored and humbled for giving me this opportunity. I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if you're able to see. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. So the topic I've got for today is the art of being in an awakened state. So as Ayya mentioned, what do we truly mean by awaken, right? So I'll start with a quick, one second here. Hold on, give me 1 second. Sorry, I'm not able to see this.
Yeah, fine.
Okay, perfect. All right, there we go. So I want to start with the background, right? So many of us know that Swami Vivekananda and Maharishi started their spiritual journey with similar questions. Who is God? What is God? Where can we find God? Right? And they ended up, sort of the same result, that you don't have to go in search of God outside. The journey is inside, right? It's an inner journey, and God is within us, and the consciousness in its primordial state is God. Pretty much they landed on the same thing. And when we talk about, the awakened state, like in the times of Vivekananda, people were, in a weak state of mind. And he calls that they were in a hypnotized state of mind. They was fighting for freedom. There's a lot of negativity around the people. But he strongly believed that no individual is inherently weak, right? So that's why he came up with that, the famous quote that we all have heard, rise, awake, and stop not till your goal is achieved. And what he means by goal there, it's your spiritual, the divinity state, reaching to your or realizing your divinity state, right? And for that to happen, you need to be not in a state of, weakened mind. You need to be in a mind that is awakened, and you should be able to reach your goal, right? And in that context, when you see what is awaken, yeah, we're all awake now, but what is awaken here refers is your new level of understanding, right? You became so aware of yourself, or you become conscious. I think I'm now going to switch to the conscious reference, right? You're going to be very conscious about yourself, your connection to the universe, how you're connected with the nature. So bringing that consciousness is what we refer as the awakened state. Now that's the definition. But why do we need to be in an awakened state, right? As mentioned, that is your first step to initiate your spiritual journey, right? Without without being conscious of what's happening within us, around us, and how we are connected, without getting that big picture in our mind, we wouldn't be able to start our spiritual journey. So that's the very fundamental, the first step. Then you can realize, like, your shift, you will see a shift in your perspective, like your perception changes over life, right? What is the purpose? Like, why are we here, right? What are we doing here? Why did we come? Like, what did we bring, right? So all those perception changes, and we get into a state like where Maharishi calls that as Mukala Jnanam, right? Like you are able to link your past experience to your present circumstance to future result. So with this sort of awareness within you, or a consciousness within you, you get to the state of making sure like the choice of your words, your actions is all in a very conscious state, which will lead you to ecstasy, wisdom, grace, and you finally get a sense of satisfaction, like understanding the purpose of life. So that is really why we need to get into that awakened state. This is all good so far. Now, when we get into how to be in a conscious state, this is where Maharishi takes over, right? He gives us a wonderful operating manual on how we can get into this conscious state. And he does in major, I call them as three buckets, like we can split into multiple things. Like it's a broader concept. People have different, knowledge on this one. It's my interpretation so far, my little interpretation. And the way he has given this is bringing the consciousness on your body, consciousness on your mind, consciousness on your soul, and the life force that's driving it, right? So consciousness on your life. So basically, to get to this one, it's the order that matters, right? So you cannot get into the consciousness of mind or soul without understanding the body. So the order does matter, and the techniques he's giving for these things is also different, right? So when you start with how to bring the consciousness on your body, it's the simplified physical exercises, right? And then to bring the consciousness on your mind, you do that in two levels. You do two deep introspections and Kundalini meditations. This is to bring the consciousness on your mind. Then you get into the consciousness on your soul. Silence come into play. And what does that mean? Like we'll go in detail. And also, to improve the life energy, because to control your mind, to be conscious on your body, mind, and soul, you need a life in place, right? So, and how to improve the life force within us is where like the Kayakalpa, your Nityananda Davams, like all those techniques will come into play. So high level, these are the techniques, and these are the categories that we're going to see today and the techniques involved, right? Now, getting into consciousness on body, right? As mentioned, the inner journey is within us, like, the spiritual journeys is within us, like within our body. So understanding our body is the first one. So inner journey starts with understanding your body. And he makes it very clear. I think the interesting part in all the like all the concepts that Maharishi has given us is he makes sure the details, the fundamental is very clear. Then he teaches how to do that with all the attention to details. Like, he gives a wonderful explanation for every steps, and then the benefits that we get out of it, right? So one thing he's making it very clear here is our body is an auto correcting system. As long as it's doing the work, like each organs and the cells, everything, if that is doing the part correctly, their purpose, their duty, whatever is designed to do, if it's all doing it correctly in the right way, then your body will heal itself. We don't need to go external to get any sort of support system. It's an auto correcting system. That is what he's making us to believe in the first place. And then he talks about the fundamental part of the body, which is the cell, right? I know, like many of us know, like our body is all made of cell. Like from one cell organism, we transform to this level. All this journey is all known, but his focus on this part is more on the quality of the cell. it's the brick of the house, right? Like, the more and more the cell is, the quality of the cell is improved, you're going to see the benefit in the body, right? So the physical exercises, it's an effective package that's mainly designed to regulate the flow of blood, heat, air, and life force in the body, leading to good biomagnetism and physical health, right? So the main focus that we are targeting here as part of this process is both to make sure the flow of blood, heat, and air is all regulated within the body, right? So that's the fundamental. That is the base for improving the quality of your cell, right? And what happens with this one? You're interacting closely with your body. I don't know, like it's our own body, but I don't know how much we have interacted with this, right? We become, the more and more practice we do, we become more receptive to its signals. So it's a constant interaction between the body. The body will tell you what is good, what is bad for you. So it happens only when we start doing these physical exercises, and the body will send the signal back, and you become receptive on your body, which leads to the consciousness on your body, right? And how does it go? Like, physical exercises. He has given, the different sections of the exercise, like which one, you're starting with your hand, your leg, your neuromuscular exercises, your eye, Kapalapati, Maharasanam, massage, 14-point acupressure, and relaxation. For the people who are already practicing, I don't know how many of them realized why is it in this order, right? Yes, it's good, like we're stretching, like we're doing, but why is this order? Or like, why can't Magarasanam be done first? Like, why it's the hand exercise first, right? And this is where Maharishi amazes us with the attention to the detail he has taken, right? On how he beautifully designed this package for us. Anytime, like let's take this as more as a cleaning process, right? Or like a washing thing, like now you want to wash the cloth, right? Now, what do we need? We need water in place, like we need to wash from that one, like we need some sort of water source there, right? And the water source within our body is the blood. So while he calls that hand exercise, what is he first doing is making sure the blood circulation is regulated first, right? So the first posture that we do, making your hands as your energy receiving antenna, getting the universal power. With that force, he's making sure the blood circulation within the body is all regulated, right? And then, with that process, he's making sure like there's breathing techniques in between. So he's making sure the air circulation is regulated, which generates the heat circulation is regulated. So by the time you're done with your hand exercises, all the three are in sort of a regulated state. Now, he then takes that energy and gets to the next part, right? And then he talks about the leg exercise. But what is the main purpose there? Like we're doing the foot reflexology there. And you can treat the foot as your sort of your main switchboard, right? Like, where all the connections are ending. Like, so all your nerve points are ending to the switchboard, and he's starting from there, passing all those heat, the blood, air, heat circulation that we have regulated. He's making sure that energy is passed to every organs through using those main switch, which is your foot. You do your foot reflexology and constantly talking to each organs when you do. Like it's not like we're pressing, doing that. It's like interacting. I'm pressing my head, like I'm making sure the flow is good on the eyes, the ears. So you're making sure that is done, and he's shifting to passing on to the heart, because the last part of the leg exercise focus on heart, and then your kidney massage. Then he gets into clearing your lower abdomen organs, like with all the unwanted things from the body, like he's making sure that's cleared off. Then he gives 5 positions, focusing primarily on your lungs, all parts of lung, like the entire lung in all areas. He's making sure you fill the air as much as possible, right? And making sure the oxygen is fully into the body. And then focusing on your eyes, making sure your vision is improved. Kapalabhati, focusing on your brain cells. People with Alzheimer, to prevent it from getting into Alzheimer in the old age. Kapalabhati is the effective exercise. And comes the interesting part of Magarasana, right? Which is where once we wash the clothes, we'll have to squeeze the water out, right? So Magarasana is mainly to twist the body, in multiple, like in 14 different postures, making sure your central nervous system is all regulated, right? Like, so all the parts of the central nervous system is all activated. And imagine, like, if that is good, all over the body is good. Then he leads us to a massage. Okay, you're done enough. Give it a good massage. And then the 14-point acupressure is more like, activating the signals. Okay, now that I've done everything, is my signal correct for the day, right? So he gives that 14-point acupressure to make sure, like, all parts of the body, the key areas, are they receiving the signals? And then do a relaxation. This is the part you need to leave the body in a hypnotized state, like you're trying to hypnotize the body to believe that it is healing itself. Here's where I think some of them like might skip this relaxation step, but here is where the auto correction happens. So when we rest, when we leave the body in the state, the auto correction will happen, right? All this will not take much time in our day. It's only 45 minutes, but if you really see the benefit that we will get out of this process, is going to be it's going to really help us in the next steps, right? Like in terms of getting conscious on the mind and soul. But this is the very fundamental step, and just 45 minutes will do all the magic here. So this is how he's helping us to be conscious on our body, right? Then comes to the consciousness on mind. And we all know mind is a very, very powerful tool. Like, you can control your mind. And last time when I attended the session, Professor Balachandran Ayya, he did mention a controlled mind is your best friend and an uncontrolled mind is your worst enemy. That's very true. But how do you go about controlling the mind, right? So Maharishi starts with what are the different aspects of the mind, right? Like there's thoughts coming in our mind, there's desires coming in the mind, there worries in the mind, there's anger coming in the mind. So he starts with that. He starts with introspecting those things, right? So your analysis of thoughts, right? And this is one interesting thing. So like thoughts, like it can come with for various reasons, for needs, habits, like heredity, whatever the cases. Like you can get multiple thoughts, right? I heard a story of Ramana Maharishi too, like where people, when they question, like he used to question the thoughts, right? What we normally do is when we get a thought, we'll take it to an action, and whatever the result of the action, we are going to, whether it's good or bad, we are going to, undergo that. But Ramana Maharishi used to, contradict that, or like, he used to question why I'm getting it. And Maharishi is asking us to do the same thing, right? Analysis of your thoughts. Right when you get a thought in your mind, you're going to, calculate that to say, is it a good one? Is it a bad one? Why am I even getting that thought? Don't go to the next level of making it as your word or action. Stop right there. It's risk avoidance, right? The moment it's a bad thought, when you have concluded it's bad, we're not moving forward. So you're avoiding any sort of problems and things that might happen later. And then he talks about desire. So this is one good thing. He's not saying you should not have desire and stuff, like, no, the spiritual journey, you can have desires, but he's making sure you have moralization of the desire, right? It's an attached detachment, like that he's asking us to practice, right? You can have you can have some desire on your person's articles, pleasure, it can be anything, right? But moralize your desire. That's key, right? And then worries. Here, he doesn't want to analyze or moralize, eradicate it. Because if you really connect this with this ultimate goal, which is world peace, how do we get world peace? Only when the individual is happy in his mind, right? And that happiness, and he also in some of his speeches refers that you need to have a richness in your mind, rich feeling in your mind, right? That can happen only when you eradicate the worry out of your mind. And mostly the worries comes with imaginary expectations, right? And also mishandling priorities. And this is where, like, when he gave us a clear understanding on our priority. And one interesting fact when we talk about priorities there, he starts with self first, then the family, then the relative, the society, and the world. This is the order, right, that we need to follow. And if you were to take some time for yourself, making sure you are doing the exercises or whatever that is needed to maintain your body and your mind, to make sure that you are in good health, he never calls that as selfishness. The time you spend to do this, like all your introspections and stuff that you want to really focus and do that, it's not selfishness. He says that is a service to the society, right? Because when you take care of yourself, there are two benefits out of that. One, you're not becoming, you're not dependent on others. The society doesn't have to tend to you, right? You become independent, like you have the energy yourself, so you're not actually bothering the society. And the other part is, you can also service to the society, right? So there's two benefits of taking care of your own health. So the order goes in that way. So eradication of worries, we need to get to the mindset of not having imaginary expectations and instead shift to acceptance. Always know, like, I've seen many people going with why me questions, right? And we should actually replace that with why not me, right? And that's how, like, the introspection goes, right? And neutralization of anger, right? The interesting part of neutralization of anger is it's about understanding the causes why we are getting angry and what was my part. It could be from different reasons. Like sometimes anger is not, something that is within our control. It is out. It could be from a different for different reasons, right? But what was my part to that, right? How can I neutralize? And this is more subjective. It's not like one direct answer on how you can neutralize your anger. But if you keep doing the other techniques, which, like, the meditation and other techniques, your mind wavelength will actually get subtler and subtler, right? And by the time, like, you're in your alpha, your theta, delta, the chances of you getting anger will be reduced, right? So that's where, like, he's getting into those part. But neutralization of anger is one level of introspection. Finally, who am I, right? Understanding oneself, right? And Maharishi says, like, without doing these introspections, you cannot understand yourself. So you talked about, the consciousness on the body, and when it comes to the consciousness on mind, the first step is understanding you. And how you understand you is about analyzing your thoughts, your, moralizing your desire, eradicating your worry, neutralizing your anger. Then you get to the point of you understand what you are, what you are, right? And the enlightenment of consciousness will come only through introspection, right? So that's how, this is one part of what happens in the mind. But the techniques as such, right? Like, what are the techniques to really get them to become more conscious on the mind, is all these meditation techniques, the Kundalini meditation techniques, Agna, Duryam, Shanti. And then you can see that he takes us to understanding the five senses, how we are connecting to the planets, the five elements, beyond the planets, like Duryadidam, ninth center, and the divine state. So all these techniques will help us get into the consciousness on mind, right? Then comes the consciousness on soul. With, like, before getting to that, like, he makes it very clear how the genetic center is within the genetic center. Like, he's giving an explanation. I never had heard of genetic center in the past, but with Maharishi, like, no, he's giving a clear definition of what it means, right? So we all know, like, we have taken multiple births, or, like, or we come from, going with the science and Darwin theories, like, we have come from animals. So there's multiple theories to that one. But what Maharishi says, that is, your soul will have the imprints of whatever transformation you have gone through in the past. It's like your hard disk, it's coded, and you carry every time. This time I have this body, this life, this name. Next time, like, I could be a different thing. but whatever I carry, like whatever I do, is carried with me. It's imprinted within me, right? And we, even these days, like, even little kids know what is karma, good karma, bad karma. Like, watching animes, like they all know good and bad. But he gives a further definition to that on what karma means, right? The Sanchita karma, which is coming as an hereditary thing from the, from the parents, the prarabdha karma, or the actions that you do from the age of 8 until now, nakamya karma, which will be the future thing. So your past and present will decide the future, right? And this is where the techniques that we follow here will help you, that you're not creating more karmas in the future. So you're clearing the sin imprints. So all the process that we are learning within the Vedatrim here will help us to clear our sin imprints from the genetic center. So our future, whatever births it could be, like the future in this life or in future births, we are not carrying forward a lot of imprints within us. Like we are getting rid of those, and we are getting into a clean soul, which will help us achieve our final goal in realizing the divine state, right? Which is the final goal. So that will complete our spiritual journey, right? So that is where this concept is important, and he's for the soul. What he's giving as a technique is silencing the mind, right? And what is making sure is, like, when the mind expands into the wave motion of the consciousness, the mind, right? So he wants to bring it back to that point where there's no thoughts in your mind. He's silencing your mind. It's not like some people think, silencing is more like I'm not talking to others, but he makes the concept very clear. It is not about that. It is about silencing your mind, not getting any thoughts. Our genetic center, based on the imprints that we carry, will end up giving so many thoughts within us. But this exercise, like, or the silencing mind, will help us avoid overthinking, and it will help us experience the absolute space or the divine state in our mind, right? So that's the technique for getting consciousness on your soul and the consciousness on your life. So to the body, the mind, the soul will not function when you don't have a life. Like, that's the life force that happens within us. And to make sure that we have good life force, which will lead to the biomagnetism and all, he has given these wonderful techniques. Kayakalpam, I can't emphasize more on Kayakalpam. There's so much of benefit I myself have realized with Kayakalpam, and so many people here would have realized it. So Kayakalpam makes sure, like, your life force is improved. Like, you constantly, like, it's only a matter of 5 minutes in the morning and the evening. And then when you're conscious to doing eating and all, you can do, but the focus is on morning and evening. And with those, small amount of time, like, it makes sure your energy levels are improved, right? Because your life force is constantly maintained. You never feel dull. Even if you're dull, like, I wouldn't say like it wouldn't feel, but even if you're dull, your comeback would be so awesome. Like, you can easily recover from anything that happens. Same goes with Nityananda lamp and mirror gazing. Wonderful technique. We've been practicing it ever since we learned regularly on a daily basis, in 95%, I would say. And it's an amazing thing. The silencing of mind happens automatically with that. How you connect with the absolute space happens. It's a wonderful technique of mirror gazing, and it improves your life force within. Like, it's all these are improving your life force, right? And you become consciousness on your soul and life, right? And I want to conclude here. So at the end of all the process that we talk about, consciousness on body, mind, soul, and life, what we are getting here is, we are improving our emotional intelligence. We're becoming more rational than being emotional. We become very consciousness of our actions, the thoughts first, the words that we use, the actions, so we can control the effects of that, right? So to get to this conscious level, it will not start immediately. Like, you'll have to have the faith, right? So start like the faith in the system, faith in the process. That is where, so trust the process. It will definitely lead you to attain your spiritual journey, right? So trust the process, understand yourself. This is where Maharishi differentiates from any other people, like who teaches the spirituality and all. He makes sure that we realize it. Do not go by my words. That is the famous, the song that we have. Sollal mattum nambade, soyamai sindite telivan. He makes sure you don't go by my words. You understand that, right? So that understanding leads to the consciousness that we talked about, and developing the consciousness to the highest state. Your personality changes. You become subtler and subtler in your mind frequency. And what I meant by food review here is, we all watch more food reviews and we see people eating, enjoying great foods like from different places. But until we go by, or like, we make at home, we are not going to enjoy. So I could have said everything here, but unless you join and or you practice, you're not going to enjoy whatever I said, right? So I kindly request you all for the people who are already in the system, practice, practice, practice. And for the people who are listening for the first time, please join, and you can see the magic happening within you. With that, I'll end my topic. Thank you again for the opportunity. And I want to take a moment to thank people here. I would want to thank my family, my entire family, for all their support. My husband, who has been instrumental to make me come to this point. And I want to make a special note to Saumitran Aya and Ponni Saumitran Amma, because I've never have met them. It is their videos, their scientific explanation of videos. So as Professor Balachandran Aya was calling out, something happened. The happening was their videos. Their explanation built the faith in the system. Because when all we know is there's physical exercises, but their explanation really, really built that faith. And I really want to take a moment to thank for all the services that I've been doing. And I want to thank all my masters from Mississauga Center, Sasi Ayya, Karna Ayya, Jayanti Amma, Sivaraman sir, and Kanimoli, who has been, for encouraging me to come to this point. And thank you all for this opportunity again. I'll end here, sir. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Aruchelvi, Devi Selvarajan ma'am, for your enlightening and amazing speech. The need to be awakened in a conscious state is well highlighted upon. Understanding the purpose of life and living in that light of understanding brings satisfaction. Consciousness of body, mind, and soul go hand in hand to live our life well with a realization which brings enlightenment. The sequence of body, mind, and soul is brought out very well. Our sky system will serve as a beacon to guide everyone who's on the spiritual path. All we have to do, as you said, is imbibe, practice, and make it our very own, which is very well brought out in ma'am's lecture. Thank you once again, ma'am. Now, let us move on to the question and answer session. You can raise your hand using Zoom application and you'll be unmuted. Thereby, you can introduce yourself and can voice out your questions, please. All are welcome. Please come forward. Is any, like, do you want to give a feedback? If so, please go ahead. Any of you here?
Oh, I'm seeing in the chat box, I'm seeing Agasthian
Okay,
saying
sir.
it's a wonderful presentation. Umani Reddy. Why don't you all come and say something? It's a small family, great family. Yeah, Tilakavati is there. Okay, please.
Ma'am, come forward. I'll unmute you, ma'am. Kindly unmute yourself.
வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வையகம். தமிழ்ல கேட்கலாமா?
கேட்கலாமா? கேளுங்க.
வயதானவர்கள்லாம் இந்த பயிற்சிக்கு இப்போ வந்திருக்காங்க கொஞ்சம் வருஷங்களா, நிறைய பேரு. அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு யோசனை வேணும். ஏன்னா இவ்வளவு வருஷம் கழிச்சு செய்யறதுனால சில பயிற்சிகள்லாம் அவங்களால செய்ய முடியல. இவங்க அந்த பயிற்சியை பத்தி ரொம்ப நல்லா சொன்னாங்க. முதல்ல அவங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப நன்றி சொல்றேன். ரொம்ப பெருமிதமா இருக்கு அவங்க பேசுறத. காரணம், ஈன்ற பொழுதில் பெரிதுவக்கும் தன் மகளை சான்றோன் என கேட்ட தாயின்னு சொல்ற மாதிரி ஒரு நல்ல விஷயத்துல, அதுவும் புனிதமான உயர்ந்த வேதாத்திரியத்துல போய் என் மகள் பேசுறது எனக்கு ரொம்ப நிறைவாகவும் மகிழ்ச்சியாகவும் இருக்கு. அதுக்கு நான் பிரபஞ்சத்துக்கும் என்னுடைய குருநாதர் வேதாத்திரி மகரிஷிக்கும் நன்றி சொல்றேன். 60 வயசுக்கு மேல பயிற்சிக்கு வரவங்களுக்கு இவங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்ச சில விஷயங்களை நான் இவங்க சொன்ன எல்லா விஷயங்களையும் கேள்வி கேட்கறதுக்கு எதுவுமே இல்லை. ரொம்ப நல்லா தெளிவா அழகா பேசினாங்க. பிரபஞ்சத்துக்கு இயக்கம் வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
பாலச்சந்திரன் ஐயா வயசானவங்களுக்குன்ட்டு ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்கா கேக்குறாங்க. அது எனக்கு மியூட்ல இருக்கீங்க ஐயா.
It is like this. Most of our exercises from the age of 8 to 80, 80 வயசு மட்டும் எல்லாரும் எக்ஸசைஸ் பண்ணலாம். Swamiji at the age of 95 also he was doing exercise. So up to the age of 80, anybody can start the exercise. Exercise ஆரம்பிக்கலாம். அந்த அளவுக்கு சில exercise, see everyone, whether young or old. So I'm also telling in English because there are people who are non-Tamils also here respecting their sentiments. ஆனால் நான் தமிழில் சொல்லிடுறேன் அதை. So she is asking me whether people who are above 60, seniors, what are the special practices for them? That was the question. The answer is, in fact, our Kayakalpa can be done at all ages. Meditation can be done at all ages. Physical exercise can be done at all ages. 70-80 வயசுல கூட கத்துக்கிட்டு பண்ணலாம். ஆனா even if you are young, you might have got an accident or there must be some genetical disorder. So all of us cannot do all the exercises. So understand your body and see what exercises you can do, what exercise you cannot do. For example, I fell down from a train and from the sleeper train, I fell down. So my left hand is not functioning properly. So எனது இடது கை வலது கை மாதிரி ஒர்க் பண்ணாது. இது புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். ஸோ இடது கையில் சில எக்ஸசைஸ்லாம் பண்ண முடியாது. என்ன பண்ண முடியுமோ சமைச்சு சிம்பிள் ஃபார்முலா சொல்றாங்க. எது வலி இல்லையோ அதை நீங்க பண்ணிட்டே வாங்க. அது பண்ண பண்ண உங்க உடம்புல இருக்கிற ஜீவகாந்த சக்தி, உயிர் சக்தி எல்லாம் நல்லா இயங்க ஆரம்பிக்கும். அதனால முன்ன பண்ண முடியாது கூட இப்ப பண்ண ஆரம்பிக்கலாம். ஆனா நீங்களா ஃபோர்ஸ் பண்ணி பண்ணாதீங்க. பாடி நோஸ், இந்த கான்சியஸ்னஸ், பாடி கான்சியஸ் இருந்தா கூட the body will tell you, no, you cannot do this, it is giving me pain, listen to it. கண்ணை மூடின் பண்ணியானும் பண்ண வேண்டாம். Okay, what is easy for an 80-year-old, for a 10-year-old it may be difficult. என்ன we are all different, கரெக்டா? அதனால நம்மளால என்ன பண்ண முடியுமோ அதை பண்ணிட்டே வாங்க. பண்ண முடியாதது கூட பண்ண ஆரம்பிக்கலாம். ஆர் இன்னும் மோசமா போகாம இருக்கலாம். So that is why Swamiji has done a lot of research. About 30-40 years Swamiji has done research, and then he has brought out these exercises. Kayakalpa he spent 40 years. In 1940s Swamiji started teaching meditation, but only in 1984 he started teaching Kayakalpa. So 40 years of research he has done. Similarly, meditation. So after a long time, he has brought out a system which is applicable to all the people around the world. In different climates, it can be done. Okay, different age groups, it can be done. And then he has brought out this. Okay. So, அந்த மாதிரி within limits, நம்மளால என்ன பண்ண முடியுமோ பண்ணிட்டே வரலாம். Okay.
Thank you. All well.
Yeah. Because the lady who is asking, she may not be knowing fully English. So I have taken the liberty of saying something in Tamil. I have always translated in English also. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Others also, you see, but just like she came out, come and say something here. It's a family.
Sir,
Okay. So don't just
actually,
put a chat box and then say everything is over. Come forward.
sir, one Balasundaram sir has asked a question. I live in Toronto. Is there any center here where I can go and attend meditation yoga?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can give that.
we
It's
do
in the
have
chat.
centers.
So we have a center in Toronto. You can go to our website. The exact address is also given. Telephone number also will be available. It's not difficult.
It's 4 centers we have in Toronto itself. Like we have in Mississauga, Burlington, North York, and Scarborough. We'll share the details so anyone can benefit of it. Thank you.
May now invite our senior professor,
Just a minute. I
to
think
say a few words.
Mrs. Devi, you can give your telephone number so that what they can ring up, they can note down, and they can talk to you, and you
Sure.
will be able to guide them. You can in the chat
Sure,
box
sir.
you can put your number,
Yep.
and so anyone who wants to know about Toronto centers and all, she will be able to provide you. And
Yep,
it is there
thank
in our website also. kundaliniyoga.edu.in is our website. So if you go there and click centers, and then it'll ask which country, Canada. If you put that, the complete list with address will be available. Now she has given her number also. Okay, it's been a very, very nice, simple and very elegant presentation of Swamiji's principles. Very clear. So we can see the clarity in her thought, which has come out in the words and actions. Arise, awake, and stop now. So there is arise, there is awakening. Why Swamiji has used those words, Vivekananda? Says, Uttishta, Jagrata, Propyavara Niboda. In fact, actual statement is taken from a Upanishad which says, go to the great masters and learn at their feet. Okay, but Vivekananda did not want to say because they are so selfless. He modified it. Otherwise, the actual statement is go to great masters and learn from them. Arise, awake. But he modified it because then they will think that okay, he wants everyone to come to his feet and all that. So he changed it. He says, reach your goal. And what is the goal? Yes, ultimately reaching the perfection of consciousness is our goal, human goal. And Maharishi says that all of us can reach that. It is not meant only for a few people. That is why Swamiji is called common man's philosopher. In our ashram, the laborers, they were all taught all the meditations. And Swamiji himself came and gave Turyatitam for them because they had an inferiority complex because they don't know Tamil language. They cannot read, write. They can't read in English. They can't read spiritual books. They had that inferiority complex. So Swamiji said, I will give them Turyatitam. Okay. And all of us, it doesn't matter, anyone who takes Turyatitam from anyone, it is actually Swamiji's energy coming to us. Okay. So make it a point to practice it every day. What is important is practice. No amount of reading or listening alone is enough. Every day, if you take a conscious decision, I will do servicing to my body, exercise. I will do a servicing for my mind, meditation. I will do Kayakalpa for my life force. Then this awareness, which she is talking about, awakening takes place. You will be aware of what your life partner is thinking. You will be aware of what your mother-in-law is thinking, what your friends are thinking. That is awareness. And you know what to speak and when to keep silent. That's it. It's not something very great. Swamiji has made it everything very simple. When you go to office, you will know what the other person is thinking, why he has come. Okay? That is awareness. And so you will know how to deal with those things. And you will also understand nature's secrets will come through you because you'll be connected with great masters. Vivekananda's thoughts, once I asked Swamiji, Swami, how can I become Vivekananda? How can Vivekananda's soul come into me? I asked him. So he said, no, if you think like that, Vivekananda's soul will not come. If you go to that level, automatically it will work through you. So if you start practicing, they will work through you because they still have great goals to do. Okay, you will become a conduit. Okay, so let us all become conduits of great masters. But we should prepare ourselves for that. Not just wanting, we have to work for it. And Swamiji has given the methods for that. So arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Thank you, Surya, Madam, Devi Madam, for giving a wonderful presentation. And Uma Shrikant has beautifully compiled the whole thing very nicely. She did an excellent meditation. And all of you from different parts of the world have taken the time. It's a Saturday morning or Saturday evening holiday. You have spent time with us. Once again, thanking all of you. We just want to mention that every month we run 2 foundation courses. Okay, one starts on 1st. It's a 12-day program from 1st to 12th. We have one foundation course. Second fortnight, from 16 to 27, we have another foundation course. And it is running both in the morning and evening. Morning 6 to 8 Indian time, evening 7 to 9 Indian time. Both the same. So you can attend any one of them. Charges are very nominal. You will learn all these things and much more. Okay, so you can join, but if you're already there, you can tell your friends to join. It is not for Swamiji's sake, it is for our sake that we can join and benefit. You can sponsor some people, some poor person. You pay some 2,000 rupees or $50. It could be a life changer for him. Or just inform others that there is some great teaching available so easily. Nowadays, you people are lucky because we had to go behind the master to get it. Swamiji used to come once a year in Delhi. Okay, I used to live in Delhi. So I used to wait for those 10 days, the whole year. Okay, and then meet him at somebody's house for just a couple of hours. But now it's all available in your bedroom, your drawing room. Okay, so let us take advantage of this technology. Sureshji wants to say, yes, he's got every right to do that. Yes, sir, please go ahead. Unmute and speak.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
I want to check with you. Only 20 participants can join in this call, or more than that. The Zoom is allowing only 20% or more than that?
No, sir. Actually, more than 100 or 200 is allowed.
Okay.
Sir,
Okay. Okay.
It's open to all, and we keep sending posters to all groups, Facebooks and WhatsApps.
Yeah, unfortunately, for good things, not many people are coming. So if we can make more people attend, that would be a great service. Yes, we can always increase the limit. That's not a problem at all. It is just that people are not aware of such a program. Unfortunately, our marketing is not very strong, honestly. We are not doing survey. It's a disservice to Swamiji that such a great thing is not being taken to many people. Anyway, let's all work together and people will come when we deserve more people to join. Okay.
And I
Thank
see
you.
in the chat, Agastyan want to be unmuted.
Yeah.
Can you
Agastyan?
unmute? Yeah.
Yes. Agastyan, you can speak.
Yes. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
I am Agastyan. It's the first time I'm attending this session. And I'm also living in Canada from central region, Regina. It's a very cold place. My heartily congratulations, and I'm grateful for Devi, the wonderful presentation. And I usually like just to do I'm not saying it's a meditation. I just simply sit, close my eye. But I always believe that when time comes, everything will come to us. So I was thought like I really needed some guided meditation, all the things. And recently I heard about this kind of this organization, and my friend, he forwarded that information to me, and I'm starting. I started the exercises, like a 1 hour exercise, past few weeks. I can see the difference. Now I think we can just move forward to the next level of doing some guided meditation. So I'm just looking forward some the guided meditation session. So I will keep in touch with Devi as well as Suresh, and they are my friends. I know them very long time, but recently I heard that all this information. So yes, I will definitely contact them, and whenever the next session, I'm willing to join, and I really wanted to practice that. So because I'm doing the morning exercises just past few weeks, I see the difference. So also just some of the videos, why we are doing it, all the explanation, which is grateful and it is useful for us. So yeah, thank you so much the presentation, and I'm also part of this family. I'm grateful and thank you so much.
All government and be blessed by the divine. Augustine, thank you so much for your kind words.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Indra ma'am, thank you, sir. Indra ma'am is here.
Yeah.
Please unmute.
Yeah, thank you so much for all the effort in organizing. Devi Amma, wonderful presentation, well articulated. You have put together all the points in a nutshell. Very well done. Thank you so much for the concise lecture. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amma. Your turn next, right? All government and be blessed by the divine.
Oh, great. Thanks, Indiraji. And also, I would like to say, Augustine, that we run as I told you, the foundation course is there online. So, in fact, it started yesterday, 1st to 12th. The second fortnight also, if you feel like you can join, where we'll be talking about complete Kayakalpa is there, and 3 levels of meditation, and then so many other topics also will be there. If you want, you can join that. Or locally, if they are arranging some programs, you can go ahead. You will be able. You can do anything. Okay, there's no competition here. Whatever is convenient for you, we'll be able to manage. Thank you.